Good morning, pretty gang. What's poppin'? What's good? How y'all doing? How y'all feeling? It's Peaches, your favorite motherfucking nail tech, back with a video. Now look, today's video, right? You can already see we got this beautiful milk bath set. This is what I was supposed to show you guys the other day, but my laptop permanently deleted the footage. But lucky for you guys, the very next day I ended up doing this set, which includes 4 milk bath nails. So I'm going to show you what I did on this set, right? How to do a milk bath nail, and it is the same technique I used to achieve the look on the shorter set. Okay, does that make sense? I'm showing you both so you could see what it was supposed to be versus what I got. So before we do anything, let's do our subscriber shout out. It goes to Celebrity Ego 5402, subscribed since, what does that say, November of 2021. Okay, y'all already know. Subscribe, turn on your notifications, all that good stuff. I appreciate y'all. Listen, y'all already know I got love for my pretty gang, okay? And that's just it. So I'm including this footage because this is like the first step to really getting a good milk bath set. Me personally, I like to include gold flakes, gold foil, you know, whatever the case may be, however you want to call it. And I like a variety of flowers, okay? So this particular client, basically this set was kind of like a recreation of a different set I did a couple of weeks ago, in a way. She wanted some more milk bath nails than what was on that set. So, you know, it's a little different or whatever. And she wanted a purple theme. So I went ahead and got a couple of different types of purple flowers. You guys have seen me use my brush to cut stuff before. I feel like this just, I don't know. I like a lot of like little tiny pieces as well as whole pieces. I know a lot of people like to use big whole flowers and stuff. I'm using different types of flowers, and I like to cut my flowers up as well. And this whole part is kind of strategic, okay? So right here I'm deciding what do I do and don't need, and I try and focus on one end at a you guys, I'm so sorry, I'm just waking up. I just woke up a little bit ago and my throat is really dry. So with doing this, I pretty much decide what am I needing for this one firsthand, because I don't want to be wasting supplies, okay? Yes, they're just dried flowers. You can get them off of Amazon. You can get them at your nail supply store. Honestly, you can get them whatever, but that don't mean I want to waste it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm adding a couple of stems or these leaves. You see, I break everything up because number one, I'm cheap, but number two, it gives me that look I'm going for. Okay, I feel like when doing a milk bath set, it's a bunch of this and a bunch of that, you know, if you know what I'm saying. So even these type of flowers, I was thinking like, oh, do I want to keep it whole? But then I'm like, no, let me just go ahead and break it up a little bit, because it's gonna just give a little extra dimension, you know what I'm saying? So when you have all different sizes and pieces and colors, it gives dimension. So you see, even that little flower petal right there, I went ahead and broke it up, and I'm looking to see like, is there anything else that I need or that I want? Okay, so like I said, you guys can go ahead and get these from, you know, Amazon or anything like that, and we're just deciding where do we want to do this at. Okay, so you're gonna need some clear. Okay, I got core clear from Young Nails. I'm a Young Nails girl. And we got core white. The core white I use as milky white because their core white is milkier and lighter than not polished milky white. I use not polished milky white when I want like coke white. Okay, so planning and placing. Okay, now I don't want to say there's not a rhyme or reason to this, because it's supposed to look organic and it's supposed to look really, you know, nice, but there is a rhyme and a reason. Okay, so I set down a little bit of clear first so things will stick, and I just kind of go ahead and start placing where I feel like things would look good. Now at first I do kind of spread certain things around. I try and put, you know, a little bit of this and a little bit of that everywhere, but the reason why I do put that clear down and I don't glue it down is because I like to be able to still kind of move stuff if I need to. So if you normally glue stuff down, I would say it kind of eliminates some of your wiggle room. And then once I'm like kind of liking an area, when I do place clear down, I do kind of like put it on top of other stuff a little bit just to really keep it from moving, you know. So you can see right here, right? It's kind of already coming together. And you'll be able to see as you go, like, okay, what needs something where. So typically, I use the gold flakes and these little stems to kind of break things up. So that way it adds just some more variety, basically, because what you don't want is a whole bunch of the same type of stuff all in the same area, okay? And what you also don't want is to leave the nail bed area up there completely blank. See, this flower, she was playing, but I got her down, and I think I'm probably gonna put a little clear on top in a minute, just a tiny bit later on. Yep, there we go. So around the cuticle area, right, let's talk. What you don't want is for it to be super naked and bare, like I said before, but you also don't want to crowd it with a lot of stuff, just simply because we still do have to lay some white down, and we still do have to cap. And you don't want to pack it so, you know, so much stuff around the cuticle area that stuff is moving around, or it's making it difficult for you to do stuff, okay? And then the other thing I wanted to point out, you guys notice I did not lay down any white before I did this. I personally like to have a clear background. I just lay everything down, and then I use the white strategically to create a milky look and effect. I know a lot of people will lay white down first, and then they will go ahead and just lay the stuff on top of it and go on top with another layer of white. Or some people will just cap in white. I personally don't prefer to completely cap in white because it also dilutes the color of your stuff, and I do like some things to kind of still have that pop, so that way it peeks through the white and stuff, and it just gives more dimension. Okay, so I feel like my way provides a little bit more dimension instead of just a flat, like, okay, I laid some stuff down and all of it is covered in white. You know what I'm saying? So you can see I'm basically taking my time. See all these little specks and pieces? I do not let those go to waste. It seems like, oh, you know, why do you even keep those? But when you look closer, you're gonna really see, like, okay, it does make a difference. Okay, so you can see with those little tiny things, I just continuously place them where I feel like there's too much empty space. That's what I end up using a lot of the gold foil and these tiny pieces for. Okay, so do you see how it just looks natural, looks just kind of organic? It just looks like it's kind of just there. Okay, so with the white, right, the areas that I want it to actually be very milky, I just lay the bead there and I kind of blend out the edges. Do you see? And it provides that look, that really milky look. I don't do this all over the nail because I want to still be able to see the stuff that's in there. So there's select areas that I really kind of let that bead set for a moment, so that way it's harder to move, it's harder to swipe away. And then in the other areas, I will, whatever I swipe away, that will be the milkiness for those other areas. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? I chose a couple areas, I let that milky white sit, and then I kind of just swiped away. You know, I just distributed the product elsewhere. Very thin layers. Okay, now you can make this as milky or not as you want to. Everything is really preference. Everyone has their own technique, but this particular way I feel like gets the best result. I've done milk bath sets a good amount of times, not as often as I would want to, because a lot of people still actually don't know what they are, which is crazy, because I'm like, wasn't this a whole trend like a couple years ago? But you know, okay, all right, girl. So you can see in the cuticle area, I do add some white because this takes away from some of the, what do you want to call that? Like some of the pinkness to the nail bed in the cuticle area a little bit. So that way it looks more cohesive. Okay. And I do not cap right away because I don't want any of that stuff moving around. Okay. So for the pinky, we're going to go ahead and lay a couple of things down. I tend to like to lay down a bigger piece in a way first, and then like, okay, let's work around it. So there's no, you don't have to have a specific pattern or anything like that, because again, it is supposed to look, you know, kind of like organic and just kind of like, ooh, this just happened, I guess. But you do want to have a good placement, and you will know when the placement is not, like, something will tell you, well, I hope something would tell you if you're new to like doing nails and stuff, your placement might not be all the way there yet. And even if you're just, you know, you're not new to doing nails, sometimes you just got to work on it. You know, it takes a while before you have that like instinct of like, yeah, this looks good, you know. So again, I lay some clear down, swipe it down a little bit so that way it can kind of cap other things just a little bit. But we are working with very thin layers of clear. Okay, so you can see how there's a lot of the same type of purple. So I went ahead and put a green stem up there just to help it pop a little bit. And then I added a little bit more green down there to make it pop, because we want these things to pop. Okay, now in the other set that I did, the shorter set that I was supposed to be showing this that got deleted, she went for a pink look. I have way more different types of pink flowers, like shades of pinks, than I do purples. So those nails kind of popped and stood out a little bit more, but I'm not unhappy with these at all. It just, you know what I'm saying? Like everything just provides a different look, and that's what it's all about. Okay, so we're gonna keep going until we are satisfied. Okay, like I said, use those gold foils, gold flakes in the areas where you feel like, oh, is it a little too empty? Is it not enough, you know, color? Because you don't want everything to just kind of look blah and like the same shade of like, you see up there how like all that purple is kind of similar, but then we have pops of the darker, more vibrant purple, and we have pops of gold flakes and a little pop of green. All those things matter. And you see how like none of those flowers, nothing went to waste, right? Because what I'm going to do is move that paper towel to the side, and what's on there, I'm going to use that for the other two fingers on the other side. So I won't have to like use a whole bunch of supplies, because realistically I only use a couple of flowers, so that way I'm just not out of stock all the time. Okay, because the last thing you want to do is to constantly be out of supplies. And that's what I mean when I be telling you guys like, okay, you know, there's ways to save money and things like that. This is one of those ways. Okay, so again, I let the beads set for a second, and wherever I do not want such a harsh amount of white, I will fade those edges out. Okay, do you see? Because I still want that milky look, but I do not want to have everything be like encapsulated in white. I know some people do it that way. I personally do not prefer the look of just a more like solid layer of white on top of everything, because I like to be able to see everything in there. You know, we did all that work. Now this is all real time, so yes, the application did absolutely take about 20 minutes, and you see why. These type of sets tend to take a little bit longer, because you have to literally hand place everything. Every little thing is hand placed and hand picked. Okay, so I actually got a little story time for you guys, right? So this video was supposed to upload yesterday, but the crazy part is, let me tell you something. As I was working on it in the morning, I was gonna do the voiceover during one of my breaks, but right before my 3:30 client, I'm so glad she was a regular, right? Oh, really quick, we're about to cap these nails. Okay, you guys should know how to cap. I would say, I understand if you don't know how to cap efficiently. I will be doing a video on that sometime. Oh, I also didn't mention these are XL nails, by the way. So when you cap, you do not want everything to be too what do you call that? I don't want it to be too stiff of a bead, but I also don't want it to be hella watery. So you see how it's like one unit that I'm just dragging down. The thickness is pretty much the same throughout. That's what you want. That's how you are able to get your strength, keep the strength, and you will not have to keep using a bunch of beads. Okay, so I'm gonna do another bead at the bottom, I believe, because it is drying. It didn't all of it didn't get to the bottom like how I wanted to, but yeah. So anyways, yeah, I was gonna do the voiceover at like 3:30, and then have it uploaded last night. The crazy thing is, I went to Panera to go pick up my freaking order, right? I had 10 minutes before I had to get back to work. I got in my car and I was about to put my key in the ignition, and something caught my eye. I looked at my key. There was a crack in my key, like a horizontal crack. When I touched the key, it crumbled off. So now I'm at Panera, which is down the street from my job. I'm like, what the hell? Like, really, literally, what the hell? I got 10 minutes before I gotta be to work and my key is broken. Baby, when I tell you I could not start the car, I could not do nothing with the car. So I'm like, okay, I gotta go to work. I wanna eat my lunch. I'm making phone calls to different key people and locksmiths and da-da-da. My mom ain't answering the phone, all this stuff, right? You guys make sure your apex is hidden, okay? But you also don't want it to be too thick and bulky. Is a very fine line, which is why I said I will do a tutorial when I'm able to. So I'm making all these phone calls. Finally, my mom answers. I reach somebody that can get to me. They're talking about 20-30 minutes. I'm like, baby, I gotta get to work now. My mom talking about she can give me a ride to work, but it would take her 15 minutes to get to me. I only am 3 minutes down the street from work. So at 3:30 or like 3:35, my client texts me. She's like, do you want me to come get you? I was like, oh my God, yes, please, yes. So while I'm talking on the phone, making all these damn phone calls, my client pulls up next to me. A man squirting a water bottle on my car, squeegee in the car. I'm trying to tell him, sir, please, I don't want this. No, he's talking about something. What time is it? What time is it? What time is it? I'm like, sir, it's 3:30. Please stop. Please. He done picked up my windshield wipers, using this old dirty ass squeegee to do my windows. But my client did come get me. My mom met the locksmith at my car, so a new car key was made. $250 motherfucking child. But I almost started laughing because I'm like, just my luck. So yeah, that happened, and then I had to hurry up and soak her nails off because we only had an hour. But it took exactly 30 minutes for her fingers to soak and come off. And then my next client was a regular, thank goodness. Like, the rest of the day went smooth, but then I gave myself a pedicure after work, and then by that time it's already 10. I had to go to the store. So by the time I actually ate and got settled, it was already after midnight, which is why I decided, like, I'm gonna just upload in the morning. So here we are. And that's my story time of why this video didn't come out yesterday like it was supposed to. Okay, yes, purr. So back to the video that's almost over. You guys have seen me cap a million times, but I wanted to just keep this in real time because I'll be honest, when it comes to milk bath sets, there's a lot of people that don't know what to do, or like their placement or their color choices or their flower varieties. You gotta have variety in flowers, okay? I mean, even if you don't, it gotta, like, you know, variety in colors or something. Like, even if you only have one type of flower, let's find the flowers that's like, okay, this box only comes with, you know, the little standard 4-petal flowers. But you know what we can do? We can use multiple colors. It has multiple pinks, multiple purples in that box. Things like that, because you really, really, really want to have a lot of not only diversity, but dimension. You guys, I always speak about dimension because it's the truth. It just makes your nails and your looks be so much more. You know what I'm saying? So I really hope this video helped. I apologize that it is not the footage of that shorter set or that medium set. But you guys, I have been trying to do the best I can with what I got to work with. Okay? And just showing you the technique, that this technique applies to any milk bath set that you do, no matter the color, no matter the length, the shape, anything. This technique is like my ultimate go-to technique, okay? Like I said, not too much white. Start on a clear base, variety in flowers, and you're good to go. And cap as you go, kind of. Like, you know, when you have enough stuff down, you know, put a little tiny clear on top so stuff don't move. That's the number one thing, because you'll be mad as hell. Anyway, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I appreciate y'all. We're at 1,100 subscribers. I still have important news. Now I got more news to tell you. Like, you guys, this crazy. It's wild, and I'm still adjusting. Like, y'all got me monetized. Like, it's crazy. So here is the final look of the other set that I had did that I wanted to show y'all. Super spring, super cute, like just very, very pretty overall. And here is the set, of course, that I did for you guys, up close milk bath. You know, don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and of course I'll see you in the next one.